Hi everybody, this is Dr. Janine and I welcome you into my world once again. I'd like to talk to you about what I posted on my blog today, and that is about how to attract the right relationship into your life or the right partner. I think aside from how do I get rid of this anxiety, attracting the right relationship is probably the next biggest thing that people ask me about. So I really want to address this. I think one of the bigger questions, or the way it is phrased, is how do I know if someone is the one? Or how do I attract the one? And my answer to that is there isn't really a the one. There really isn't. We all have this preconceived idea that there is this one specified person that can only fit you. And that's not true, because we have a world full of people and we're so diverse, and there is not one single person that is exactly like the other. But we can maneuver and change some of our life and some of our inner life, inner workings of what's going on inside in order to attract to us the right person for us, or somebody who fits and connects with us in a very good way. Most of us end up with what is phrased as karmic relationships, and those are usually based on what you're attracted to in the beginning. So when you meet someone, you're attracted to their outside, you're attracted to the persona that they present to you, and everyone knows that when we meet someone from the very, very beginning, we're always putting our best foot forward. But later on down the line, some of the real person starts to come out. Not that the person's trying to hide anything, it's just that we want to make a good impression. And later on, after we're connected with this person, we find out, oh my goodness, they're pressing all of my buttons, we're not getting along, we're having so many problems, what's wrong with this picture? Things used to be so great, now things are just so horrible. And I didn't know you were like this from the beginning, right? Or why weren't you like this from the beginning? It's because we do put our best foot forward in the beginning, and later on, around maybe 6 months down the line, and sometimes 8 months, sometimes it doesn't even take that long, we begin to manifest out of our wounds. In other words, we act and react out of our soul scars and out of our wounds. And so someone that we're connected with and we're partnered with will say something, do something that will spark a memory that is unconscious, and it's brought to the conscious mind. It has touched a soul wound, and the next thing you know, we've got conflict. And I'm not saying that that's going to be completely a bad thing all of the time. Sometimes conflict is really good because it helps expose those things. If you're very savvy, you're looking for them, and you're taking the time to meditate about it and saying to yourself, okay, what is this about the situation that I am putting into, or what has pressed my button that is maybe a soul scar or a wound that I need to deal with. These types of relationships are normally what are called or termed as karmic relationships. We come into each other's lives in order to teach one another lessons. Basically, all relationships are for that, but especially ones that press our buttons more than anything else, okay? So if you're getting into relationships where you're finding that you do have a lot of conflict and you do have a lot of things that are coming up and you feel like there's a lot of struggle, it's because you haven't really come to a point where you've taken the time to deal with what's going on inside of yourself. So let me just explain really quick about the energy body and what's around us. We have energy that goes throughout our body. We have energy centers that are all throughout our body, and usually when we're doing balancing or energy centering or balancing, we're working with the 7 major energy centers of the body, but there are many, many of them. And those energy centers, they broadcast out into the area that's around us. And we we can walk into a room. Have you ever just walked into maybe a doctor's office and you were just in a great mood, and then all of a sudden everyone's smiling? It's your countenance, it's what you have projected, it's whatever is inside is coming out to the outside. Or have you ever come home and maybe your partner is just in a real bad mood, and all of a sudden you don't know how this happened, but you're in a bad mood and you're feeling this empathy, or you're feeling depressed, or all of a sudden something comes over you. You're in the grocery store, you're standing behind people and you don't realize it, but you're picking up on the energy that they have around them that's coming from within them. It's not always about energy on the outside attacking us or coming towards us, but it's more about what energy is on the inside of us that we are projecting out, and that what we receive from others. And so we're kind of melding our energy, so to speak, when we're standing around someone, and we could be at quite a distance, maybe sometimes 6 to 7, maybe 8 feet away, or maybe more, depending on how much you pick up on stuff. I mean, you could be very empathetic and even pick up on things before you walk into a room. So, I mean, depending on what those things are, you could be feeling them and you could be picking up on them. So anyway, that's the energy body that's around us, and they're connected with the energy centers that are inside of our body. And those energy centers are also connected to the organs, the cells, and they are conditioned by some of our emotions. They have memory, and they are affected by things that happen in our life. And some of the memories and the soul scars and the things that have occurred in our lives that we have not really dealt with, those have affected the energy centers of our body. And eventually, if we don't deal with them, if they're harsh enough, they end up becoming physical illness. But they also can help us as far as what relationships we're going to attract into our lives, whether they're friendships or romantic relationships, or which ones we are going to repel from our lives. If you want to attract the very, very best, this is my advice. Take it or leave it. Here we go. Deal with yourself. Number one, life is about your stuff. We always come into a relationship, we have conflict, things happen. We think that life is about the other person. We are attracted to that person. We think that we're in that relationship for what that person can give to us. No, that's backwards. We are in relationships, number one, with ourselves, with God, with who we are. But we come into, or should be coming into, a relationship for what we desire to give to that person that we're in relationship with. And in order to be in that condition or in that space, we need to work on what's going on inside of here. So first and foremost, if you want to attract the very best in your life, you need to work on creating the very best inside of your life. That means dealing with the junk. That means getting rid of all this stuff and replacing it with a lot of good stuff. And so, bottom line, if you're going to project happiness and joy and gratefulness and a higher form of love and giving, and just, life isn't always perfect, but if you're going to work on yourself and your heart is open and free and trusting, those are the types of people you're going to attract into your life, because you have healed energy centers that are in your body, balanced and aligned them, hopefully. If you do that kind of work, don't, just let that go. Go to somebody who does that kind of work if you don't. We need energy balancing. We need emotion releasing. And when you do that type of work and replace it with all of the good things, you're going to attract into your life those who have done that type of work as well and who are like you. Remember this. We don't attract what we hope to have. We attract who we are. So if you want to attract the very best in relationships, be the very best. Be all of those things that you want to attract in someone else to your life. what I suggest doing, sit down, do some meditation, do some prayer, and really, really be thoughtful about this. Get out your journal and write down a list of all of the things that you would like to be. If you wanted you as a mate, if someone was coming and they were looking at you as a possible mate, relationship partner, marital partner, what kind of person do you want to be? Who would you want to attract into your life? What changes do you need to make in order to have that, to be that? And what kind of things do you need to evolve into in order to attract the very best for you? And it sounds simplistic, but it's not very easy. These are things that are hard sometimes. Sometimes they're buried very, very deeply. That means tapping sometimes into the unconscious mind and bringing them conscious. That means taking trauma and having to deal with it. It's putting it into the palm of our hand and looking at it with a God's eye view, with a lot of honesty and acceptance and healing. And when we do that, we're going to process, hopefully, some of those emotions and traumas. And when we get past those things and we replace some of our thoughts and feelings and emotions with some of the good stuff, those are the things that we start to project. You know when you're doing the right things, when you start to see people being attracted into your life and they're having those types of characteristics that you really are putting out there or you're changing in yourself. You can just kind of notice as people pass through your life, wow, that person has a lot like me going on, and that person has a lot of trauma like me going on, and those are things that I need to work on. So you can kind of almost gear where you're at just by who is around you and who you are attracting into your life. Let it be your roadmap. In other words, take a look around you, be very, very aware. Be honest, I have a fly here somewhere. Be honest with yourself about where you're at in life and be very aware of who you're attracting into your life, whether they're friends, co-workers who are, kind of magnetically seeming like they're all of a sudden attracted to you and want to be around you. Take a good long look as to why that's happening and kind of gear. Is this happening because I've made some good changes? Is this happening because this person is revealing to me some of the things that are inside of me that I still need to work on? Let it be your roadmap, because it's the best one you could possibly have. That and doing a lot of meditation. You can receive so much from God's Spirit just meditating and just asking. That's all you really need to do is ask. Reveal to me what is inside of myself, because God is inside of all of us, and God is a God of revelation and will reveal to us just exactly what we need to know. What do I need to heal? What do I need to know about myself? And what do I need to do in order to correct some of those things? Usually it's just bringing it all out, dealing with it, and bringing in the opposite. We want to live a life of freedom and gratitude and forgiveness and higher love and giving and thoughtfulness and all of those great, wonderful qualities that we would like to have in someone else. So put those out from your inner self out into your magnetic field, and that is from electromagnetic energy. That's what's around you. That's what you are broadcasting out to the world. And if that's true, you're going to draw to yourself, just like a magnet, those who have those same qualities, or they've been working on those same things. Sometimes we attract people into our lives because they do need to show us, and we need to show them where we need to heal, where we need to learn. And those are very important as well. Remember, life is never going to be perfect, but whatever is happening is perfect for you right now. I hope that this has helped you to a large degree. I know that it went very, very fast. If you need a little bit more clarification, or if you need to do some of that work that's from within inside of you, and maybe some of that energy balancing work, and you need a professional to help you with that, I would love to be that professional. So please give me a call at 832-484-8306. This is the kind of work that could actually be done by phone. So if you are at a distance, it just takes some talk sessions and some energy, balancing, and just some breath work and opening up some of those things and dealing with what they are. A lot of times, it's like ripping off a Band-Aid, and it's kind of hurtful, but once the wound is open, it's free and it's able to just be released and heal and let go of it. So we can do that and also help to bring some good things into your life. I can show you how to download some of those great, wonderful things and foster those things into your life. Sometimes if you're in my same location, we can do some of those changes and things by hypnosis. And that's amazing. I mean, the things that hypnotherapy can do for you in your life, it helps take some of that God power and some of that unconscious stuff that's going on inside of you, that's filtering inside of you and driving your life, and help you get back into control of what those things are. You can actually reframe, and you can change your mind. Basically, you can rewire the inner workings of your mind just through hypnosis. And I think amazing things are done with just that alone. Anyway, I hope some of these things have helped you. Remember this first and foremost: you don't attract what you hope to have, you attract who you are. So be that person, be the one for yourself, and you'll always attract the one. In the meantime, I am so grateful for you, and I am so loving you from here, and I'd love to talk to you very, very soon. So please stay in touch. Bye-bye.